Can you mix Enphase microinverters with a Tesla Powerwall 3? I get this question almost every week from homeowners who already have Enphase solar and want to add a Powerwall for backup. And here's the thing, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. Technically, yes, you can do it. Should you do it? That's where things get complicated because what most people don't realize is that when you force these two systems to work together, things could get messy and sometimes very smoothly. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what happens when you mix Enphase and Tesla. I'll explain the technical conflicts, show you failure points, and most importantly, help you decide if this hybrid setup is right for your home or if you should stick with one ecosystem. Let's dive in. All right, before we talk about mixing these systems, you need to understand that Enphase and Tesla are built on completely opposite design philosophies. They're not just different products, they're different ecosystems. Think of them like Apple and Android. They both make great phones, but you can't just swap parts between them. Enphase is all about distribution and redundancy. Every single solar panel on your roof has its own tiny inverter, called a microinverter, that converts DC power to AC power right there under the panel. The advantage? If one panel gets shaded or one microinverter fails, the rest of your system keeps working. It's like having 20 small engines instead of one big one. And their battery, the IQ Battery 5P, is the same philosophy. It's got 6 microinverters built right into it. It only speaks AC power. Everything is AC coupled. Tesla took the opposite approach. The Powerwall 3 is an all-in-one beast. It's got a massive 11.5 kilowatt inverter built right into the unit that handles both your solar panels and your battery. And this is called DC coupling. And when it's set up the way Tesla designed it, with Tesla solar panels feeding DC power directly into the Powerwall, it's super efficient. See the difference? Enphase is distributed AC. Tesla is centralized DC, and that's where the problems start when you try to mix them. Okay, so here's the most common scenario. You already have Enphase microinverters on your roof. They're working great. You're happy with them. But now you want backup power. You're looking at battery options, and the Tesla Powerwall 3 catches your eye. It's got huge capacity, 13.5 kilowatt hours. It's got serious power output, 11.5 kilowatts. It can run your whole house, including your AC. Plus, maybe it's cheaper than adding multiple Enphase batteries, or maybe your installer has a better deal on Powerwalls. So you ask, can I just add a Powerwall 3 to my existing Enphase system? And the answer is yes, through AC coupling. What is AC coupling? AC coupling means your Enphase microinverters stay on the roof, outputting AC power like they always have. That AC power feeds into your home's main electrical panel. Then the Tesla Powerwall 3 connects to that same panel. When the grid is working, it charges from the grid or from your Enphase solar production. When the grid goes down, the Powerwall's backup gateway disconnects your home from the utility and powers everything from the battery. Sounds simple, right? Here's the problem. When you AC couple Enphase solar with the Powerwall 3, you create 3 major technical problems. Problem number 1, the wasted inverter. Remember how I said the Powerwall 3 has this amazing 11.5 kilowatt inverter built in? And it has 6 MPPTs that can handle up to 20 kilowatts of DC solar input? You're not using any of that. Your Enphase microinverters are already converting your solar panels from DC to AC. The Powerwall's built-in solar inverter, the most advanced feature of the Powerwall 3, is sitting there doing absolutely nothing. You paid for it. You're not using it. That's what installers call a waste. But it gets worse. Problem number 2, the efficiency loss. Let's follow the path of electricity in this hybrid setup. Your solar panel makes DC power. The Enphase microinverter converts it to AC power. That AC power goes to your home or to the Powerwall. The Powerwall has to convert that AC back to DC to charge the battery. When you use the power later, the Powerwall converts it back to AC. That's 4 conversions, DC to AC to DC to AC. Every time you convert power, you lose energy. It's like pouring water from one cup to another. Some always spills. In a native DC coupled Tesla system, you lose maybe 2 to 3% of your solar energy. In this hybrid AC coupled setup, you lose 6 to 8% of your solar energy. But honestly, the efficiency loss isn't even the biggest problem. Problem number 3, the two brains conflict. This is the big one, and it's the reason why this hybrid setup can completely fail during a power outage. Here's what you need to understand. Both Enphase and Tesla systems have a brain, a device that controls everything during a backup situation. For Enphase, it's called the IQ system controller. For Tesla, it's called the backup gateway. I think of these like orchestra conductors. When the power goes out, the conductor's job is to create a stable microgrid, basically a fake version of the utility grid, so your home thinks everything is normal. Here's the problem: you can't have two conductors, they'll give conflicting signals, and the whole orchestra falls apart. In this hybrid setup, you have to remove the Enphase brain. The Tesla backup gateway becomes the only conductor, and that means your Enphase microinverters, which are actually pretty smart devices, get dumbed down. They just have to follow whatever the Tesla gateway tells them. And this is where the system can fail. Real quick, if you haven't seen our video on Enphase IQ7 versus IQ8, then you are snoozing because you want to know the best microinverter for your home. Okay, let's walk through a real-world scenario where this hybrid setup can completely break down. The scenario: it's a sunny afternoon. The power grid goes down. Your Tesla backup gateway kicks in and disconnects you from the utility. Your home is now running on the Powerwall 3 battery. Your Enphase solar array is producing power at full blast. Everything seems fine. Your lights are on. Your fridge is running. Your Powerwall is charging from the solar, but then the Powerwall reaches 100% charge. At this exact moment, the Tesla gateway has a critical job. It needs to tell your Enphase microinverters to stop producing power. If they keep producing, they'll overload the system, overvoltage the battery, and crash the entire microgrid. In a pure Enphase system, the IQ system controller talks to the microinverters using a fast digital signal called power line communication. It's like sending a text message through your electrical wiring. The controller says, "Hey, battery's full, stop producing," and the microinverters respond instantly. It's precise, it's reliable. The Tesla gateway can't speak Enphase's digital language, so it has to use a much cruder method called frequency shift. Here's how it works. The gateway intentionally destabilizes its own microgrid. It starts raising the frequency from the normal 60 Hz to 60.2 Hz, 61 Hz, 62 Hz, even higher. The Enphase microinverters are programmed to see this weird frequency and think, "Oh no, the grid is unstable, I better shut down for safety." In theory, it works. In practice, it's notoriously unreliable. Here's what actually happens in many installations. The battery fills up. The Tesla gateway shifts the frequency. The Enphase microinverters shut down. Your home uses 10 to 15% of the battery. The Tesla gateway restores the normal 60 Hz frequency. But the Enphase microinverters don't turn back on. Why? Because they're programmed to wait for a stable grid signal before restarting, usually about 5 minutes. But if the frequency is fluctuating because the gateway is constantly adjusting, the microinverters never see that stable signal. So now you're sitting in your house during a power outage. The sun is shining. You've got a perfectly good solar array on your roof. But your battery is draining and your solar panels aren't charging it. Installers call this the Jumpstart loop. And forums, both Reddit and Enphase support communities, are full of homeowners complaining about this exact problem. Okay, so we've talked about the technical problems. But here's the thing that honestly worries me the most as someone who works in this industry: the warranty nightmare. Let's say you install this hybrid system. 6 months later, during a power outage, your solar panels stop charging the Powerwall. You call for support. Tesla says, "Our Powerwall is working fine." The problem is your Enphase microinverters aren't responding to our frequency shift signal. That's not a defect in our product. That's an integration issue with third-party equipment. Call Enphase. Enphase says, "Our microinverters are working fine." They're designed to shut down when they detect an unstable grid, which is exactly what they're doing. The problem is the Tesla gateway is creating a non-standard frequency. That's not covered under our warranty. Call Tesla. See the problem? Both manufacturers are technically correct. Neither one is responsible for making their system work with the other company's equipment. Your only protection is the installer's workmanship warranty. And if that installer goes out of business, or if they just don't want to deal with the headache of troubleshooting a hybrid system, you're stuck with a multi-$1,000 system that doesn't work, and no one will fix it. And here's one more annoyance that's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely frustrating. You now need two apps to monitor your system: the Enphase Enlighten app to see your solar production panel level monitoring, the Tesla app to see your battery and home energy usage. These apps don't talk to each other. They'll often show conflicting data. And in some cases, the electrical noise from the Tesla inverter can actually interfere with Enphase's communication system, causing your Enlighten app to show microinverters not reporting errors. It's just messy. All right, so here's where we land. I've spent the last 10 minutes telling you all the problems with mixing Enphase solar and a Tesla Powerwall 3, but I also promise to be fair and let you decide. Here's the thing. This hybrid setup might make sense when 1. You already have Enphase solar and you absolutely want a Powerwall 3. Maybe you're getting a great deal. Maybe you're already in the Tesla ecosystem with an EV and you want everything in one app eventually. If the cost savings are significant, like $3,000 to $5,000 less than adding Enphase batteries, it might be worth the compromises. 2, you have a very simple energy profile. If you're just backing up essentials, fridge, lights, internet, and you're not pushing the system hard, the curtailment issue is less likely to happen because you're not cycling the battery as much. 3, your installer is really experienced with hybrid systems. And I mean really experienced, like not just, yeah, we can do that. I mean, they've done 20 plus of these installations. They know the frequency shift settings inside and out, and they're willing to give you a written guarantee that they'll service this system if anything goes wrong. But again, you should stick with one ecosystem. When 1, you're doing a brand new installation. 2, you live somewhere with frequent or long power outages. 3, you're not technically savvy. If the idea of troubleshooting two different apps, calling two different companies, and managing a non-standard system sounds like a nightmare, it probably will be. Stick with one ecosystem. 4, you value peace of mind over cost savings. Okay, so let's say you've weighed the pros and cons and you've decided to move forward with this hybrid setup. Here's how to do it right. 1, choose your installer carefully. 2, size your system correctly. Remember, Tesla limits AC coupled solar to 7.68 kilowatts per Powerwall in the backup circuit. If you have a 10 kilowatt or 12 kilowatt Enphase array, you'll need to either add a second Powerwall or only back up part of your solar array and make sure your installer designs this correctly. 3, test the curtailment before final sign-off. Before you pay the final invoice, demand that the installer test the frequency shift curtailment. They should. Charge the battery to 100%. Simulate an outage. Verify that the Enphase microinverters shut down when the battery is full. Verify that they turn back on when the battery drains to 90%. If it doesn't work during testing, it definitely won't work during a real outage. 4, get everything in writing. Make sure your contract includes a guarantee that the system will provide backup power for X hours, a commitment to service the system for the length of the workmanship warranty. If your installer hesitates on any of this, that's a red flag. All right, so bottom line, can Enphase solar work with the Tesla Powerwall 3? Yes, it's technically possible through AC coupling. Should you do it? Only if you understand and accept the compromises. Here's my honest recommendation. For new installations, pick one ecosystem, Enphase or Tesla, don't mix. For retrofits, if you already have Enphase solar and want battery backup, your best bet is to stay within the Enphase ecosystem. Add Enphase IQ batteries. Yes, you might need 2 to 3 of them to match one Powerwall's capacity, but you'll get a system that works seamlessly, has better warranty coverage, and won't give you headaches. If cost is the deciding factor, then yes, a C-coupling of Powerwall 3 can save you money up front. Just make sure you're working with an experienced installer who stands behind their work. Want to make the right decision for your home? Click the link in the description if you want personalized advice. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation with our team at Integrate Sun. We don't sell one brand over another. We're independent educators who'll give you an honest recommendation based on your specific situation. Drop a comment. Do you have a hybrid system? Has it been reliable or have you run into issues? I'd love to hear your experience. And if this video helped you, hit that subscribe button. We're here to give you the real unbiased truth about solar and battery storage. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.